like it here in the inland Northwest. Thanks for joining us. We like that you're here with us. I'm Kalai Chalk with meteorologist Justin Spinney in the Weather Center. Sam has the day off.
And we are starting off with rain out there.
Okay, kind of bummed, but
sure.
I know we need it. And
Yep.
I'm also prepared because you've been telling us that the rain was going to come this morning.
Always happy when it actually shows up, right? You know, again, it is rain. You know, it's a little bit dreary out there to start things off, but we like when the forecast comes to fruition, and that's what we're seeing right now. And we're just in the first act of the rain, to be honest. We do have more coming our way. Looking at our satellite and radar right now, some of us are currently getting rained on. Looking down toward the southern part of our region, Pendleton, Oregon, up toward the Tri-Cities, dealing with a little bit of shower activity still. Then down toward the LC Valley, the Palouse, quite a bit of rain overnight into those areas, still coming down there. A little bit lighter toward areas like Spokane, with the main section of that band sitting over toward North Idaho. But we're really watching what's happening out west over toward the Cascades. That's where the bigger band of moisture is building in, and that is headed our way as we head later into the morning. Wide variety of temperatures to start things off. Coldest area right now is Yakima at 40 degrees, 43 in Spokane, and upper 40s to start things off in the Tri-Cities. But a look at the next 12 hours is going to show us we do have more rain on the way as we head later into this morning into early this afternoon. Right around lunchtime, we're getting more rain into parts of eastern Washington and North Idaho. For the Tri-Cities, things are actually going to taper off a little bit as we head later into the day. Showers are going to start to rain themselves out a bit more. Still a little bit breezy as we head throughout this afternoon, and we're going to have some of our warmest temperatures in the region in the Tri-Cities, still getting up toward the upper 50s. Coming up, though, Kalai, we do have that chance to see a few lightning strikes. More details on why.
More and larger waves are coming. We are just getting started. We are accelerating, not decelerating. Iran's capabilities are evaporating by the hour, while American strength grows fiercer, smarter, and utterly dominant. More bombers and more fighters are arriving just today.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth this morning giving an update on what's to come in the war against Iran. He says that the U.S. used a submarine-launched torpedo to sink an Iranian warship in the Indian Ocean. And meanwhile, a new satellite image is showing the extent of the damage on U.S. bases in the Gulf. Tamara Quilbali has the latest on the conflict.
Satellite imagery showing the extent of the damage to U.S. military facilities across Gulf Arab countries is starting to emerge, part of Iran's furious response to an Israeli-American campaign that decimated its leadership. At least 9 U.S. military positions have been hit in less than 48 hours. These are relatively close targets. They're much nearer to Iran than its usual target, Israel. That proximity may give Iran's missiles and drones a better chance of hitting their targets. This is the port of Shuaiba, where just after 9 a.m. on Sunday morning, an Iranian strike set a makeshift U.S. operations center at the civilian port ablaze. 6 American service members were killed in the attack. You can see smoke rising from the fire. The blown-out 3-wide trailer blackened on the inside. There are few signs of fortification. In another attack, a drone, this appears to be the Arash 2, crashes into U.S. positions in Camp Buring. A building severely damaged. American helicopters parked inside the base were nearly hit. In Bahrain, a Shahid attack drone flies into the base that hosts the U.S. Navy's 5th Fleet, one of the largest American naval formations in the world. It looks alarmingly defenseless. The drone hits one satellite communication terminal, clearly seen here. But the scale of the damage is more obvious here, warehouses and other buildings damaged. And another satellite communication terminal destroyed in a separate attack. We see this pattern of targeting throughout the region. At least 5 satellite communication terminals were destroyed. It points to a possible Iranian effort to cut U.S. bases off from the outside world. Iran used an unprecedented barrage of missiles and drones. U.S. Patriot missiles and other multi-billion-dollar air defense systems shot most of these out of the sky. But the ones that got through were enough to puncture the veil of security around oil-rich Gulf Arab states and the heart of America's security infrastructure in the Middle East. Tamara Quilbali, CNN, London.
And U.S. and Ecuadorian forces are now teaming up in new joint operations to fight drug trafficking. This is according to the U.S. Southern Command of the Department of Defense. It says that the operation covers South and Central America and the Caribbean, but details are classified. Ecuador's defense minister calls it an offensive operation, and the Ecuadorian president says it marks a new phase against narco-terrorism and illegal mining. Now to news out of the inland Northwest. We're learning new information about the pedestrian that was hit and killed in a hit and run in Spokane Valley. 48-year-old Rogelio Sanchez was found lying in the middle of Pines Road near Boone about 1:30 a.m. February 21st. Investigators say 35-year-old Casey Kimball was behind the wheel of the pickup that hit Sanchez. Law enforcement used float camera data to locate the pickup about 30 minutes after the crash. Kimball was detained and refused to do a field sobriety test, though deputies say that his breath smelled of alcohol. That's according to court documents, which also say that investigators noticed his truck was missing the driver's side mirror, which was found at the intersection where Sanchez was hit. Kimball is now facing charges of vehicular homicide and failure to remain at the scene of an accident. He's posted a $50,000 bond, and his trial is scheduled for May. In a crime tracker alert now in Grant County, detectives are asking for help in a decade-old homicide case. The victim's identity was recently confirmed through DNA testing as Jorge Paleo Rodriguez. Hunters found his remains near the Potholes Reservoir in November 2011. The sheriff's office says he had been shot. Now, DNA was submitted for testing back in 2011, but no match was found. However, a more refined DNA test recently identified Rodriguez through a match with a relative. Anyone with information about his death is asked to call the Grant County Sheriff's Office as they work to figure out who shot and killed him. Well, here's a look at some top headlines from southeastern Washington.
Good morning, I'm Lainey Erickson with your Tri-Cities and Yakima Morning Update. New details have come to light in the case of a man found dead inside his car submerged in the Columbia River in Pasco. The Franklin County coroner says that after completing the autopsy, the official cause of death ruled a cold water drowning and the manner of death as suicide. The man found was identified as Jason Watts, who had been scheduled to appear in court the same day he was found. He was facing several charges of child molestation and rape, with trial documents spanning over 10 years. In College Place, police say a serial vehicle prowler is now in custody after a string of car break-ins. Officers say 32-year-old Thomas Pant is linked to multiple car break-ins at an apartment complex where he targeted 8 vehicles. Police say Pant also led officers on a short chase in Milton Freewater the same day as the break-ins before crashing on Highway 339 and trying to run away. Pant is now being held in Umatilla County Jail on multiple charges. Utility bills are going up for residents in Pasco. The city says new water and sewer rate increases took effect March 1st, aimed at funding major infrastructure projects. One of the biggest is a replacement of the Butterfield water treatment plant, which dates back to the 1940s and could cost up to $260 million. City leaders say they're pursuing more than $80 million in low-interest loans to help reduce the burden on ratepayers. For NonStop Local, I'm Lainey Erickson.
Spokane Indians baseball team says it won't hold a Pride-themed event night in the upcoming 2026 season. The Indians have held a Pride event at Avista Stadium since 2021, which included a post-game parade on the field. Vice President and General Manager Kyle Day didn't give a specific reason on why there won't be a Pride-themed event this year, but he does say there could still be one in the future. He says the organization works in the off-season to curate theme nights for a range of celebrations and community partnerships. Now, we did reach out to the executive director of Spokane Pride, Matthew Danielson, for a statement. He said in part, the organization is disappointed because they believe visibility is as important now as it has ever been. New this morning, Eastern Washington University in Cheney is sharing plans for a new residence hall. It will replace the 61-year-old long-dormant Dryden Hall. Now, the dorm will be built on the site of Dryden Hall, which is at the northwest corner of 9th Street and Cedar. The project is budgeted at $50.2 million and will include between 350 to 400 beds and could include some suite-style housing as well. Design work will start shortly, with construction expected to start in early 2027. Now to repairs at Croft Elementary in Moses Lake. Engineers are removing walls after they found that they were putting too much weight on beams in the gym and common areas. District leaders have been giving frequent updates on the state of the school, which closed after major electrical and structural problems last year. The district is still involved in litigation over the school's original construction. The State B basketball tournament tips off at 9 this morning with the first games getting underway. Boys and girls high school basketball teams will compete for the 1B and 2B Division State Championships. And with that, let's get to NonStop Locals' Giera Cottingham, who's live on the court this morning.
Kalai, good morning. The countdown is continuing. We are just getting more excited and more excited. I'm here with Dave Ticker. He's one of the sports directors for the tournament. Mr. Ticker, you've been here for roughly 8 years. Anything new this year? Anything you're most excited about?
You know, I'm excited for the Spokane community and coming to watch. It seems like the last couple of years it's been better and better, and we've had more people come in. And I'm excited that you guys are here and helping us promote this, and that Spokane gets to start their day by hearing about State B basketball. So come on down, Spokane, come watch State B and support the Spokane community.
I heard this tournament is so crucial that some banks or even schools close down so teams get their support. Is that true?
Yeah, that is true. I couldn't tell you exactly who that is, but I know in the past that a lot of towns just shut down. And they all come, and that's just kind of part of their tradition, State B basketball.
Thank you, Mr. Ticker. And you mentioned the championship game is a little mixed up this year because of rules. Tell us about that.
Well, each year we rotate between boys and girls playing in that final night. So this year it's going to be 2B boys at 3 o'clock, 2B girls at 5, 1B boys at 7, and then the 1B girls will have that final spot at 9 o'clock on Saturday night.
That's so cool. Oh, my goodness. How exciting. Just a few days away for that championship. We're just talking about those trophies that are still kind of making their way into Spokane. 2 of them already here. The teams can only hold them for 1 year inside their trophy case. And as far as tickets, well, community members don't have to be here and know a player. We want all of you here, you know, whether that's supporting a team from Colfax or from Pullman, anywhere. And so there's a lot of seats in here that are empty. Doors will open at 7:30 a.m.
7:30 for the players, 8 o'clock for the fans. Fans don't get in until 8 o'clock today.
Kind of give those players that time, silence.
Yeah. Get into the locker rooms and get ready to go.
Woo! All righty. Well, we're just almost there. Tickets for 1 day are roughly $20. You can buy those at the door and also online. Tickets will kind of be on your phone, so you're able to walk in and out. Looking forward to seeing you. Back to you, Clyde.
She mentioned Colfax, the 2B girls playing at 10:30 this morning. And Lake Roosevelt, shout out to you, the girls team playing as well. So they got 2 courts. One is starting with 1B boys this morning, and then the other 2B girls. But boys, girls simultaneously playing. You get to watch 2 basketball games at a time.
And it's a high level of high school basketball if you've never been. Worth checking it out.
And so much fandom as well.
You betcha.
All right, a rhino at a zoo in Australia is getting some extra help staying comfortable as she ages. Her name is Maka. You were supposed to say that, but I wanted to say that.
You can have it this morning. It's a cool name.
Her name is Maka.
There we go. And she's a great-great-grandmother rhino in her 40s. She can't roll in the mud like the younger rhinos can, so workers are stepping in and giving her mud baths by hand to help her reach all the spots that she can't on her own.
Yeah, the zoo says that this protects her skin from the sun and it helps manage parasites and keeps her cool. And now she's able to get like a spa day treatment without having to do the dirty work herself.
That's what we all want, isn't it?
I mean, she kind of sounds like me, in her 40s, wants to take a bath, is okay for a mud spa treatment. I mean...
You're not a great-great-grandma.
No, not yet.
Though. Yeah, no.
Not yet, but I am saying I'm in my grandma era because I like to puzzle, drink tea, and take naps.
Those are just good things to do. You don't have to assign that to any generation. Everyone should do those things, right?
Are you puzzling or drinking tea?
No, but...
I know you're taking naps, though.
I am taking naps. Yeah, that's high on the list, in fact.
Yeah, especially on this new schedule we're converting.
That's right. Still trying to figure this thing out.
Still to come here on Wake Up Nonstop Local. We brought Justin into the morning shift because he's our meteorologist covering all things weather.
And with all that rain coming down, I think Maka would be happy. We're turning some of our grassy surfaces into mud right now. And we do have more rain on the way for many of us. But what does that lightning chance look like? We'll talk more about that coming up.
Caught on camera, look at this. Deer and elk have been using a newly installed wildlife overpass in Osborne, Idaho. Check out these clips from Idaho Fish and Game showing that the animals are going over the overpass. The agency says that the funnel fencing led the animals to the overpass. They were crossing Interstate 90, endangering drivers and themselves. Now they can enjoy this safe alternative. Justin, I'm not joking. When I first heard of the overpasses, I was always like, how did the animals know to get there? But there's fencing along the side of the road that kind of just directs them there.
It's a thought that crossed my mind too. Like, no one tells them to use the overpass, so there has to be a way, and it turns out that is the way. Speaking of animal overpasses, there's one in Snoqualmie Pass also that was recently built, and that's where we're going to start our forecast. Looking up toward our mountain passes in the Cascades, Snoqualmie up above, Stevens down below. It is raining right now at Snoqualmie. No precipitation falling right now at Stevens. There is some fog that's starting to roll in there. No restrictions, clean driving conditions of both those passes right now. A little bit wet on Snoqualmie. I do expect we will see that change as we head later into the day today and that snow level drops. Stevens Pass especially, we're going to get a decent amount of snow over the next 36 hours or so. Let's talk about what that means for the rest of us with more rain on the way. That's where we start our weather headlines. Rainy conditions today. It will be the rainiest day of the week for most of us. Have that chance of lightning and a little bit of graupel also as we head later into this afternoon. We get a little bit more atmospheric instability. Temperatures this afternoon will also be slightly cooler than where we've been. Started off warmer this morning, though, actually, because of all the cloud cover and the rain. As we head into tomorrow, the showers start to taper off a little bit more, and then by this next weekend, we're going to warm back up. So the snow level's falling quickly today. It's going to rise back up quickly as we head Friday into Saturday. We got to track these showers for you, though. As we head later this morning into this afternoon, this next band is going to build in toward eastern Washington and north Idaho, so it's going to be a rainy lunchtime, definitely an indoor lunch kind of day. Maybe you can head over to the Spokane Arena, watch some great basketball around that time. As we head later into this afternoon, that's when the showers become more convective. They start to pop up a little bit more rather than that widespread band, and that's where we have chances to see a little bit of lightning or a little bit of graupel. Overnight tonight into tomorrow morning, those showers start to taper off a little bit. By tomorrow morning, though, a little bit later into the morning, a few more showers could develop over the mountains, especially some snow for areas like Lookout Pass, Silver Mountain. We could see a few showers sneak down towards Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. We expect those to be pretty weak and brief in nature. As we continue through the rest of our Thursday, more of those isolated showers, and really that's more of what we'll see as we head into Friday also. This is from the Storm Prediction Center, though. First time we've referenced them here in the year of 2026. Everywhere in the light green, which is everywhere in our region from Washington, Oregon into Idaho, we have a chance to see some isolated lightning strikes. No chance of any severe storms or anything like that, but it's the first time we're talking about some lightning strikes really this year, so something to pay attention to as we head later into the afternoon. Want to show you the high temperatures for today. We're mostly talking 40s and 50s, 47 into Spokane, 46 for Coeur d'Alene, 44 up into the North Idaho Panhandle and Sandpoint. Farther west, we get into the 50s, 57 for the Tri-Cities as well as up into Moses Lake, 50 for our high temperature today in Ellensburg. Let's get you a look at the 7-day forecast. First with Spokane, high temperatures in the upper 40s all the way through Friday, then low 50s by Saturday. Coeur d'Alene in the mid 40s before we have that warm up as we head into the weekend. And finally for the Tri-Cities and the Yakima region, talking about those high temperatures staying fairly steady through the rest of the work week, then we're getting back to the 60s by Saturday and Sunday.
In less than 5 minutes, players and coaches will fill the stands in the courts to begin the State B tournament. Doors open at 8 a.m. for parents and fans.
Coming up on Wake Up Nonstop Local, citizens stranded, Americans trapped in the Middle East, strikes by Iran across the region, and measures by Congress considering to scale back U.S. attacks on Iran. The vote today coming up. Plus, caught in camera, a body camera catching a bullet, saving a deputy's life. What led up to the near deadly incident coming up.
Rain is the story we're starting with this morning, and it's going to be the story we're talking about later today. But the other side of things we're watching, there's actually a chance we could get a few lightning strikes later into the day. We'll talk more about where we're watching and why we're watching for the thunderstorm possibility coming up.
Wake up, you gotta rise to the sun, and here it comes, it's time to make the best of what you got to give. It's all about rising, and I wanna be there.
And a shout out to all of our local teams competing at the State B basketball tournament this weekend. Lake Roosevelt and Toutle Lake starting it out at 9 o'clock this morning on the girls' side. Boys' side, it's Muckleshoot Tribal and Liberty Christian. And of course, we say good morning and welcome to all of you who are cheering on a team this morning at the arena. I'm Kalai Chalk with Justin Spinney. Sam has the day off.
It's so fun, an event like this, because it's people from all over the state coming together, and a lot of our local teams get to play on one of the biggest stages we have here in the Inland Northwest, which is so cool.
Yeah, and you can watch it on SWX all morning long. For now, thanks for joining us here on SWX with our extended hour of coverage until 8 a.m.
And hey, good day to head inside. into the arena. We're talking rain shower activity outside right now, and that's exactly where we're going to start our forecast. I want to show you the 24-hour rainfall totals. You can see where that heaviest band of showers overnight into this morning lined up just east of the Tri-Cities into Walla Walla, and then arcing up over into parts of the Palouse up through North Idaho from there. So we go from rainfall totals that are down in the hundredths of an inch for areas like the Tri-Cities and Spokane to over a quarter of an inch, if not more, for areas like the Palouse over into Coeur d'Alene and up into Sandpoint. Sandpoint, one of our big winners right now at 0.4 of an inch. As we look at our satellite and radar, for the most part, that's where that band of showers is still sitting. Starting to see a little bit more activity, though, in northeast Washington up north of Spokane. And then as we look out farther west, this bigger band of showers is sitting over the Cascades, where it's mostly bringing rain with snow levels around 5,000 feet. But that's going to work its way around and eventually head our way. More rain is on the way as we head around lunchtime in eastern Washington and North Idaho. Here are the temperatures we're starting out with, most of us in the 40s. It's warmer than the last couple of mornings, and that's why we're mostly seeing rain. 43 in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, 42 on the Palouse, a little bit warmer toward the Tri-Cities and Walla Walla, where we are at 49 degrees. But we are keeping one eye on that thunderstorm chance later today. We'll talk more about that coming up in a few more minutes. Kalai?
Okay, Justin, thank you. Checking headlines this morning, rockets continue to fly in the U.S. in Israel's war against Iran. Less than 2 hours ago, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth gave an update on what the U.S. plan is moving forward as Americans remain stuck in parts of the Middle East. NBC's Alice Barr has the latest from Washington, D.C.
Fresh strikes across the Middle East as Israel fires on Tehran and Iranian-backed militants in Lebanon. Iranian forces unleashing attacks on Gulf countries. And in closed-door briefings, top Trump officials telling lawmakers to expect a bigger, overwhelming wave of strikes against Iran in the coming days. Pentagon leaders weighing in this morning.
We have only just begun to hunt, dismantle, demoralize, destroy, and defeat their capabilities.
They mourned 4 U.S. Army Reserve soldiers killed in a drone strike in Kuwait, now identified as Captain Cody Cork, Sergeant First Class Noah Tegens, Sergeant First Class Nicole Amore, and Sergeant Declan Cody. All as the Trump administration is pushing back against accusations that the U.S. was dragged into war by Israel. The president pointing to a breakdown in nuclear talks with Iran.
Based on the way the negotiation was going, I think they were going to attack first, and I didn't want that to happen.
On Monday, Secretary of State Marco Rubio said the U.S. faced an imminent threat because Israel was about to attack Iran, and Iran would have then hit U.S. forces. On Tuesday, he clarified that was a question of timing, not intent.
Once the president made a decision that negotiations were not going to work, that they were playing us on the negotiations, and that this was a threat that was untenable, the decision was made to strike them.
Democrats saying the administration's justifications aren't good enough.
There were a lot of references to the 47 years of Iran being a problem. That is not imminent. That is in the past.
Republicans largely standing with the White House. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
And also this morning, NonStop Local talked to a Spokane man who's stranded in the Middle East. Doug Kelly was visiting a beach in Qatar during a layover on Saturday when he started getting alerts on his phone.
But all the alerts were in Arabic, so I had no idea what was going on. But after the third alert, everybody on the beach was packing up and leaving, so I figured I better do the same. And then started hearing booms go off in the sky.
Kelly was able to safely make it back to his hotel. Currently, the airspace in Qatar is closed, so he has no idea when he'll be able to make it back to Spokane. He says the experience has been a roller coaster of emotion, but he has friends and loved ones checking in on it. Meanwhile, the Senate is set to hold a procedural vote on President Trump's decision to start the war. Lawmakers will consider a war powers resolution that would require congressional approval before any more attacks. The Senate votes today, and then members of the House will discuss the issue and make a similar vote later this week. So far, 6 U.S. service members have died in the conflict. A terminally ill man is in the Spokane community jail or county jail, charged with trying to kill his wife. It happened in their home in northwest Spokane last week. Here's video of 79-year-old Richard Anthony's first appearance from his jail bed. Court documents say his wife told police they were sitting in recliners when he went to the garage and came back holding a knife trying to stab her. She grabbed the knife and bit him, but reports say he then hit her in the head with a hammer. The victim's brother spoke on behalf of Anthony, saying he was not in his right mind at the time.
I feel that his medications or cancer caused this mental break, and I feel he would never have done this if he was in his normal state. And Richard, I love you and forgive you because I know you.
Court documents say when officers interviewed Richard, he told them he wanted to kill his wife and he had planned it out. We did just check the roster and he is in jail this morning, but the judge did rule he can post bail and go into hospice care. All right, time check now. It is 7:37. Let's get a look at some of the top headlines from southeastern Washington.
Good morning. I'm Lainey Erickson with your Tri-Cities and Yakima Morning Update. A day of worship for many turned into a very scary situation at a church in West Ellensburg. According to police, a man and a woman who have been patrons of the church for a few months were making threats. Officers say the woman may have been experiencing a mental health crisis when she talked about hurting others. Church staff telling police a man had been armed with a handgun and a semi-automatic rifle in his car before turning it over to them. Ellensburg police arrested the man for an unlawful firearms-related offense. The woman detained for a mental health evaluation. In Pasco, a man is dead after a stabbing in an alley near Sylvester Street and 14th Avenue. Officers were sent to Lourdes Medical Center after a man in his 30s was dropped off. He died at the hospital from those stab wounds. Officers say they began their investigation and that no arrests have been made. The city of Pasco is one step closer to demolishing the Lewis Street underpass. It was filled with dirt after the city said it was a safety hazard and obsolete, replaced by the overpass it opened to traffic in spring 2024. 5 months after getting the funding award for demolition, City Council approved a $3.5 million loan and grant agreement from the State Public Works Board. As for how demolition will be done, the city will remove the top 6 feet of the underpass structure and backfill all that space. For NonStop Local, I'm Lainey Erickson.
Well, caught on camera, a police body camera may have saved the life of a deputy in Florida. Deputy Jose Rivera and another deputy were investigating a case when a man with a gun fired shots at them. One of the bullets hit Rivera's body camera. You can see the picture here. He was hurt, but his injury was not life-threatening. The suspect, meantime, was taken into custody and is being held without bond on 2 counts of attempted murder of a law enforcement officer. All right, State B basketball gets underway at 9 o'clock this morning. We're giving shout outs to some of you who are coming to the big city of Spokane to cheer on their team. Specifically, we got to shout out Elmira Cooley Heartline, Pateris, Yakima Tribal coming to town, Lake Roosevelt coming to town, Sunnyside Christian. Welcome to Spokane, and we hope that you compete well today. With that, let's get to Giera Cottingham. She is live with more people filing in now that the doors are open. Who do you got with you at the Spokane Arena now, Giera?
Good morning. I'm here with some of the first cheerleaders in-house, the Lake Roosevelt Raiders. Say hello, ladies.
Hi.
Wow, they are all ready. They told me the breakfast is in. Ladies, you just shared with me your team from Grand Coulee Dam, Washington. They haven't been here in a few years. How excited are you?
Pretty excited, yeah.
Excited.
Very excited. I'm super excited.
I'm excited.
That's awesome. And just talk about kind of how you've been preparing to cheer on. Any new cheers, any new motivational words you have for your team today?
We've been doing a lot of stunts, so we'll be showing those today. I don't know, we're very, enthusiastic about being here.
We've been working pretty hard on our cheers and stuff. We're ready.
Just cheering them on and just trying to make sure they stay in the mood.
Being loud, right? Because there's going to be other cheer squads in the facility. So how are you going to kind of motivate your team with them there?
I feel like with our chants, definitely, and with our crowd, we try to get our crowd really involved, and so that definitely hypes up our team.
I love how friendly you all are with each other, and how about you?
I'm excited that it's going to be so amazing being at that state.
Sounds good. So glad y'all made it to Spokane safely. We're so glad for everyone to be here. Their coach is just standing right in front of us, admiring all of these beautiful ladies. And we'll see you back here soon. Back to you, Clay.
Yep, the cheer team for the Lake Roosevelt Raiders competing against Toutle Lake 9 a.m. today on the 2B girls court. Still to come here on Wake Up Nonstop Local. Justin's got a look at that rainy forecast.
I love that. Where other than State B are you going to get Toutle Lake versus Lake Roosevelt? That's going to be a fun matchup. But hey, live look over the Tri-Cities this morning. Bit cloudy out there. You have had some rain shower activity. Things will taper off a little bit more in the Tri-Cities than other parts of the region. We'll talk more about where the showers are moving in coming up.
The Gonzaga Bulldogs take home both Player of the Year honors. I'm Noah Schmick with this Sports Minute. The West Coast Conference tagged Graham Ike as their Player of the Year after leading the league in scoring and second in rebounding, but he didn't do it all himself. Davis Fogel and Mario St. Superi were named to the all-freshman team after their scoring contributions this season. Wazoo's Ace Glass was listed as a second-team player and all-freshman, while the Cougs' big man Ndie Okafor was named as an honorable mention. Redshirt freshman Lauren Whitaker was not only Player of the Year, but also Freshman of the Year after leading the league in points, rebounds, and field goal percentage. Jaden Hale won 6th Woman of the Year and was named to the all-freshman team, while Allie Turner was named a first-team player by the conference. Only one Wazoo woman grabbed a league honor, and that was junior guard Eleanor Avila. Seattle Seahawks, they elected to not use their franchise tag on Super Bowl MVP running back Kenneth Walker. If a deal is not worked out, he likely will be the top free agent this offseason. I'm Noah Schmick with this Sports Minute.
Thanks, Noah. Let's get into our weather forecast. We're taking a look here over downtown Spokane. A little bit of rain on the ground to start things off in a few other areas just outside of Spokane, including out toward Ritzville. We got that fresh layer of rain, and that is now turning into fog. So some areas of limited visibility this morning, but there is some more rain on the way, and there is some more wind on the way also. That will clear out any fog that is developing right now. And that's where we start our weather headlines. We're not done with the rain yet for most of us. We do have another band that's sitting over the Cascades right now that's going to head toward eastern Washington and North Idaho. As we head later into the day, around lunchtime, it looks like is when that's going to start to make its arrival. Temperatures today during the day slightly cooler despite starting the day slightly warmer. As we head into tomorrow, after a few chances of some lightning strikes this afternoon, the showers are going to taper off, and we'll just see isolated showers Thursday into Friday. Temperatures do start to warm back up this weekend, so our snow levels are dropping as we speak right now, but by this weekend, we're going to see those snow levels rise right back up as quickly as they're falling today. Let's get into that futurecast model, though. Here is that next band of showers that's working its way toward us. By 11 a.m., you can see how that's really going to fill in toward eastern Washington and North Idaho. Perhaps even some stronger rain for areas like Spokane compared to what we saw this morning. And we're adding on to already strong rainfall totals for areas like the Palouse and the LC Valley. As we head into this afternoon, starting around 2 o'clock is when the atmosphere becomes a lot more unstable, and that's where we get that chance to see a few isolated lightning strikes out there. Don't expect very strong thunderstorms. They're not going to last very long, but again, we haven't seen lightning yet this year, so this is our first chance at it. We'll see if it develops. Also, within some of those smaller pop-up convective cells that pop up, we could see a little bit of grapple. Not hail, kind of looks like hail. It's a different process that it's formed, and though it's more of a winter weather type, kind of looks like Dippin' Dots as it falls from the sky. So we'll keep an eye on that as we head through the day today. As we head overnight into tomorrow, you can see how those showers start to taper off, other than a few isolated showers that could work their way down into valleys, but the best coverage will be up into our mountains where we will be seeing snow as we head throughout our Thursday and Friday. Just take a look at those snow levels right now. We're around 4,000 to 5,000 feet, so way up here, but by tonight we're going to be all the way down to 2,500 feet. So at our mountain passes, especially Stevens Pass and Lookout Pass, we will make that transition over from rain to snow and accumulating snow at that. Don't be fooled by what you see this morning. If you have past travel plans, get ready for the possibility of quickly changing winter driving conditions, but look how quickly this weekend those snow levels are going to rise right back up. Take a look at the temperatures for today. We're in the 40s for our highs in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. Warmer areas like Moses Lake, the Tri-Cities, we're going to be well into the 50s. Looking at low 50s, though, for areas like the LC Valley at 52. Here's a look at our 7-day forecast starting with Spokane. Upper 40s through Friday. We get back into the 50s this weekend. Don't forget, we're turning those clocks ahead, headed back into daylight saving time this weekend, Saturday night into Sunday morning. As we take a look at Coeur d'Alene, a little bit cooler over the next couple of days, not by much. Highs in the mid-40s. Back up into the 50s we go, though, for what could be a showery weekend. And for the Tri-Cities and Yakima, highs in the 50s through Friday. Then back to the 60s we go this weekend.
Okay, Justin, thank you. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth says the U.S. used a submarine-launched torpedo to sink an Iranian warship in the Indian Ocean. That's our top story in Morning Rush. Here's video of that strike. Secretary Hegseth gave an update from the Pentagon this morning, saying the U.S. assault on Iran is accelerating with more bombers arriving today. He dismissed reports that stocks of munitions are running low. He says the United States and Israel will have control of Iranian airspace in the next 2 days. The Lincoln County Sheriff's Office says that they've recovered the body of a woman who went missing in the Sprague area just days ago. They say someone in Sprague found a body in their backyard yesterday morning. Sheriff's Office identified her as 26-year-old Aspen Valdez, who was reported missing 6 days earlier. Deputies are now asking anyone with information to contact them. Franklin County Coroner has released details about that man found dead in his car in the Columbia River in Pasco. Coroner says the man died from cold water drowning and ruled his death a suicide. Officials confirmed he was scheduled to appear in court the same day that crews found his car submerged in the river. Police are investigating a man died from a stabbing near Sylvester Street and 14th Avenue in Pasco. They say someone dropped off the man, who was in his 30s, at Lourdes Medical Center after the stabbing. Police have not made any arrests, but they do say it was an isolated incident and the public is not in danger. New details about the deadly hit and run in Spokane Valley. Investigators have identified the victim in the case. Deputies say 35-year-old Casey Kimball hit and killed 48-year-old Rogelio Sanchez on Pines near Boone, February 21st. Law enforcement used flock camera data to find Kimball's pickup. Kimball posted a $50,000 bond. His trial is set for May. Spokane City Council is moving its legislative meetings from Mondays to Wednesdays. Council members voted 6-1 to approve the switch after 2 years of debate. Council President Betsy Wilkerson says it gives the public and council more time to review agendas. The new schedule starts July 9th. All right, and with that, thanks so much for joining us on this extra hour of the Wake Up Show.
It's been a fun morning. We're winding things down here a little bit, but things just getting started over at the Spokane Arena. You can feel the energy level from here. It's pretty high.
Yeah, we should tell you that you can watch all of these games on SWX if you can't make it to the arena. But here's a live picture this morning where the 1B boys start off at 9 o'clock. Muckleshoot Tribal against Liberty Christian from Richland. Shout out Tri-Cities. And then on the girls' court, it's the 2B competition with Lake Roosevelt versus Toutle Lake.
The Ducks.
All right. Thanks for joining us. We got live reports here, and of course, SWX has all your games.
Well, here at the Spokane Arena, more players and coaches are coming inside, more event staff even coming in, getting prepared. I've spoken to referees getting ready to call those first calls of the game. I'm with Keitra Lewis. She's the vice president of Spokane Sports. Keitra, the excitement leading up to this game and now, how's it going?
It's going great. As you heard, the cheerleaders are already out there practicing, and eventually these stands will be full and the excitement will be high, so we're super excited to get things going.
Looking forward to seeing all of you here, whether you know a player or not. It's going to be an exciting tournament. Reporting in Spokane, Giera Cottingham.